Welcome to another first episode of That's Good Fights.
The only MMA show officially sponsored by Gatorade.
And I'm also sponsored by Gatorade.
We got some free Gatorades from this dude. They're free. We didn't have to pay for them. He said we could have them for the show, so...
Don't drink too much of it if you're a serious athlete. Studies show that actually is... You just drink water.
Be on the lookout for a press release coming soon. So the big news this week is that Jon Jones actually almost lost to Thor's younger brother, Alexander Gustafsson. I personally scored rounds 2, 4, and 5 for Jones. I wrote it on a napkin. I was gonna send it to the athletic commission, but I got some ketchup on it. It just didn't seem professional. So a lot of you out there, though, are still butthurt over the decision. So to you, I say this. No, but seriously, I feel for all you Gustafsson fans out there. Your dude almost won that fight, and he shouldn't have been able to. It was pretty much said to be impossible. I've been there. I'm a BJ Penn fan. I know how heartbreaking it is to hear that decision read when you think that the dude won, even though maybe he didn't. Even though maybe he did, but they're saying he didn't, and so technically he didn't. So I'm going to recommend to you something that has worked pretty good for me in the past, and that is substance abuse. That's Good Sports does not condone substance abuse, even though we do. For example, Mirko Cro Cop lost to Gabriel Gonzaga. I got way drunk off vodka. Way drunk's just an awkward thing to say, right? I got way drunk off pina coladas. I drank a bunch of vodka, and I took off all my clothes, and I went downstairs and started throwing head kicks until I gassed out and fell asleep.
It's true, Nick has a real problem with dealing with problems, and I worry about him.
When Nick Diaz lost to Carlos Condit, I went to a park and I hung out with these homeless guys for like 3 days drinking Mad Dog 2020 because I thought they were pretty cool. Were they? No? Did they help me forget about it? No. But Mad Dog 2020 did.
Nick drank Mad Dog 2020 until he forgot about the fight, and I just watched 2020 until I forgot why I was watching 2020. Same thing, except a homeless guy didn't make me jerk him off. At that point in my life, Nick and I have both jerked off homeless guys for different reasons. The act itself is what it is, but the reason you do it is what is important. Nick wanted to forget about the fight. I needed cat food.
And when Shogun lost to Forrest Griffin, I almost started taking up heroin. I just couldn't find it anywhere.
I had the heroin, but no tourniquet.
Maybe this arm, I don't know. I'm not a heroin guy.
So I did what anybody would do. I put that heroin in a nice batter, stirred it around, baked a loaf of heroin banana bread. It got me high, but I can never eat banana bread again. Out of all the breads, it's the best. Fucking rye bread on its high horse all the time. Banana bread, kids. That's where it's at.
What about pumpernickel? Everyone always forgets about pumpernickel, but that shit's... It's alright. And when BJ Penn takes on Frankie Edgar for a third time, I'm down to go on a Hawaiian meth binge if I have to get in the right mindset to start putting together some crazy conspiracy theories. Frankie Edgar was greasy. Frankie Edgar had an advantage because he's a smaller fighter. Frankie Edgar's just a dick. Fuck Frankie Edgar.
BJ Penn and I have the same initials.
He seems like an alright guy, but like seriously, fuck him.
BJ Penn, BJ Perna. Same initials, pretty much the same muscles too. Take a still frame of this shot. Compare them. Get back to me on my Twitter.
Basically what I'm getting at is just deal with it, alright? And if you have to take up crack to deal with it, do your thing, homeboy. Substance abuse has worked wonders for society. Look at Bobby Brown. Look at Charlie Sheen. That dude's got his shit together. Look at Mel Gibson, David Hasselhoff, Kurt Cobain. People who have abused substances up until they've died or have almost died. And they're still awesome.
Except don't do crack, guys. It's the worst, most addictive out of all the drugs. You don't use crack to solve problems. Unless you have to use crack to solve your problems.
In other news, Renan Barão just showed that if you try to fight some dude who grew up in the jungle eating steroids, hanging out with panthers, and singing songs with Baloo and shit, he's gonna kick your face right off of your face. Face off. His spinning back kick to Eddie Wineland's face was a terrifying display of both power and beautiful spinning shit. Like Black Swan, but Natalie Portman looks like a Brazilian version of Simple Jack. And instead of being molested by her mother and that chick from that 70s show, she's kicking Eddie Wineland in the face. I've just received word that apparently Henenburau wasn't raised in the jungle by a bunch of wild animals eating steroids and shit. I just want to go on the record and say that has to be false. There's no other possible scenario that could turn a man into Henenburau.
Except for prison sex. That can breed a man of his caliber.
Thanks for watching the first episode of That's Good Fights. If this didn't suck, in your opinion, which doesn't really matter, maybe we'll do another one. Thanks a bunch.
You can check out my dating profiles on eHarmony, OkCupid, Match.com, and Fuckbook. I'm on all four.
I've just received word that apparently Henenburau wasn't raising the animals.
The homeless guy didn't even have the cat food I needed. Okay, you want to do your jerk off thing?
Yeah. I don't know. Do you? You don't. If you tell me you do, I'm going to smack you in the face because you're lying. And we don't tolerate liars at That's Good Fights.